Hey guys, I'm Blizzard Planet. I just bought this hat. I was excited to wear it for the show. Imagine this, a world made of peanut butter. I fused my love for peanut butter and my existence and created Planet Butter, the peanut butter dimension of art and philosophy. I make the peanut butter, I am the philosophy, and I write books and other stuff too. This is from my planet to yours. The I is for intu-centric, the name of Planet Butter's philosophy. Thanks for joining our 72nd episode, where we'll continue to navigate life through the lens of intu-centricism, leading with our intuition, prioritizing self-control and self-expression, and holding space to connect with others. As always, email me any questions you have about your world or Planet Butter's philosophy. myplanettoyours@gmail.com. Today, well, guys, last week we did a guest episode, which is always so fun. That was actually only my second one, but I say always because anytime I go on other people's shows, it's really fun. So I'm excited. I'm going to do a few more of those where people teach me things and we go with it and see what happens. Like one guy, he does fire dancing, flipping things, and I talked to him about doing that, and I think that could be cool. There's a lot. I have a whole list of ideas, so I'm going to start reaching out to people this week and schedule those in and still do the one-on-ones because I miss you guys. I love having you to myself. We're back alone at last. But yeah, I think some more guest shows will be really fun when we do different ridiculous activities in the spirit of intu-centricism, of course. We'll get there. So I'm excited. And, oh man, so many things. I want to focus on intuition specifically this week because I always say leading with our intuition, prioritizing self-control and self-expression, holding space to connect with others. That's being intu-centric. But the first part of it, leading with our intuition, it's like, well, let's focus on that, yeah? And because a lot of the time when I've talked to people, I find that there's intuition is treated as this like mystical thing, or it's far out, or it's woo-woo, whatever. And a big part of what I really work on doing, as you guys may know, I give so many examples where intuition could be something as quote unquote small as turning left when you were intending on going right. Because when you get to the corner, something is like, go left. And then you just do it. It could be that. While a lot of the time I notice society will talk about it in like some big grand thing, like you're in like a big climax of your life and you need to make a huge decision. It's like, listen to your intuition, trust yourself. And it's like, yes, that's true, as I always say. And the necessity for Planet Butter's concepts of the practice of self-friendship, our 3 core methods, and the Planet Butter Jet Ring of Consciousness are what give us the strength to effectively move forward in our life when we do reach those bigger moments. It's the daily practice of self-friendship. The PB Jet Ring of Consciousness is a daily moment-to-moment practice. I mean, it's all moment-to-moment, right? Naturally. And practice. So I want to focus on intuition. I wrote a bit about this with myself this morning. I've been thinking about it all week, like scratching at it as I'm simultaneously working on wrapping up the chapter book, which I've now retitled to Intu-Centric, with the subtitle, Your Healthy Ego, created and written on Planet Butter by Blizzard Planet. So I'm really excited about that. And okay, so intuition. So first, we need to be aware that we have intuition in the first place so that we can even be open to it. Yeah, basics. And I think of our intuition as our connection to the universe, our body's connection to the universe. It's the thing that can guide us, guide our bodies to what is in our best interest when we implement it and integrate it with the practice of self-friendship, the 3 core methods, and the Planet Butter Jet Ring of Consciousness. So being aware of our intuition, first and foremost. Understanding that when we do listen to our intuition, it's fueling us to be in alignment, which I define as our role in the universe. And we get there through Planet Butter's 3 core methods: boundaries, confidence, alignment. So with awareness of our intuition and self-reflecting, self-connecting, what are our boundaries in any given situation? Respecting those boundaries in the given situation, embodying confidence because we've respected our boundaries in the given situation, and therefore sustaining or reconnecting in that dimension of ourselves. I just went blank, which is our alignment, which is our role in the universe, in that dimension of ourselves, because we're multidimensional people, right? So each facet of our life, the ideal is to, of course, be, quote unquote, in alignment in our role in the universe, in every single dimension of ourselves, in every category of our life. But that's why it's a continuous practice, because certain parts of ourselves, it's going to be more challenging than others at different times, in different phases, different moments. That's why it's moment to moment. So it's that root of perpetually coming back to, what are my boundaries in this situation? How can I respect those boundaries and allow myself to feel more confident, and then sustain or reconnect with my alignment? And in doing that, we are simultaneously embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves. And the decisions that we make in each and every moment is Planet Butter Jet, Ring of Consciousness: intuition, sensations, action, sensations again. Stick with me. So, aware of our intuition. Okay? Yay, I'm aware I have an intuition. I am a human body that is simultaneously connected to this universe that is so much larger than we can even fathom. Okay. Then, putting ourselves in the position to be willing to receive and willing to act in accordance with our intuition. Knowing that the universe guides us to where we want to be because of the clarity that we cultivate with ourselves through self-reflection and self-connection of what we want, where we want, who we want, how we want to be. Our clarity matched with the uni's magic, co-creation. And how do we put ourselves in a position to receive our intuition? Well, the thing is, guys, we're receiving it whether we know it or not. So again, it's best we choose to know it. And understanding that our intuition is relentlessly first. Our societally conditioned mind is relentlessly second. So it's the practice of paying as much attention as possible to what's that first instinct, intuition, that first message that comes to us. And it's going to come to us in different ways. That's a key part. For each one of us, I mean. And I don't necessarily know how for you, right? I know how for me. For me, there's like simultaneously, I get like little visions, and there's like little voice where I'm like, do this. And I can see it. So like first it's like a little voice of like, do this. And then it's like immediately after, I can either see it or I can't see it. If I can't see it or I'm trying to see it, it's not my intuition. If I can see it really easily, or it just pops in, it just pops in on its own, then I'm like, intuition. And it depends. It's different for everybody, right? And our minds are different. Our bodies are different. Our connections are different. So this is why for you, it's your practice, your self-friendship, your boundaries, okay? And the planet butter jet ring of consciousness comes in here for how do we know when it's our intuition, yeah? So planet butter jet ring of consciousness is intuition, sensations, action, sensations again. So the planet butter jet ring of consciousness, yes, it's our cycle for decision making, and this cycle for decision making helps refine our understanding, our unique understanding of our unique relationship to our own intuition. So that's why every aspect of this, again, is a practice. What we think is our what we think, for those of you listening, I'm just doing something silly with my hat. I encourage you to watch. When we think it's our intuition, well, this is how we tell if it's our intuition. So something happens, we think it's our intuition initially, right? So intuition says something. Then we instantly check our body, the sensations in our body, and based on our sensations, to simplify it, it's either excited, free, light feeling, or it's a contracted, like small feeling, tight feeling, uncertain feeling, which would indicate not intuition. And based on the sensations in our body, we take action, the third part of the cycle for decision making. Based on that action, as we're in the action, we check in with our sensations again, and that further indicates if that initial, what we thought was maybe our intuition, was in fact our intuition. And even if whether it was or wasn't our intuition, it still was and is what we were meant to do in that very moment that we chose to take that action in response to that feeling, thought, what have you, intuitive little nudge. Okay? So it's that's where it circles us forward to that understanding of it can be something so big and it can be something so small. Like the amount of times I'll like leave a restaurant because initially I'll feel like intuitively I'll be like, okay, I see myself going to this cafe. And then I go. And then okay. Example, great. Last week I had driven past this cafe and I thought it looked cute. So I was like, okay, I'll try going there someday. The day came where I was like, I think today's the day to go. So I go there, I get there. And then once I was there, I was like, so my intuition said, go to this place. Sensations in my body were like, excited, yay, try a new place. Action was go to the place. Then I'm at the place. The sensations were, ooh, I don't want to be here. So it's like that contracted, like once I was there, I was like, oh, no. So then the cycle repeats, intuition. Okay, so we cycled through that little moment. We're at the cafe. Then I'm like, I don't want to be here. So I leave and I have to check back in. Cycle repeats, intuition. I need to eat. I'm hungry. Where do I want to go? And then a different cafe that I had, it wasn't a new one for me, but it was one that I know I love. And I can go there. So I'm going to go. That was the one that popped in. So I was like, okay, great. Intuition said this cafe. Sensations in my body were excited, like, yay. Action, go to that other cafe. Once I get there, sensations were like, ah, yay. And then, sure enough, while I'm there, I end up making friends and sitting with these new people for lunch. And I met 3 new people and had a lovely lunch. And so it's just kind of cool to see an outcome of having a positive outcome, right? Having listened to my intuition throughout all of that. Because mind you, the timing, right? So it's like I was meant to go to that other cafe initially and then end up at that other one after. And that timing became alignment with those people who I ended up meeting and having lunch with. So had I just gone to that where I ended up, if I went to where I ended up before I went to the place that I intuitively felt drawn to the first time, I would not have met those people. I would have met different people and maybe not have had lunch, or maybe blah, 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 blah. Who knows, which is also the point with intuition. The thing is, it's always the thing. Intuition, it's in our best interest, and it's not about us. It's in our best interest, and it's not about us, because it's our connection to the universe. It's us embodying our role in the universe. So perhaps my timing with that cafe, that first one, maybe somebody at that cafe was supposed to see me and I was wearing a yellow t-shirt. I don't even have a yellow t-shirt, but I would like one, I think, now. And maybe somebody saw me and I was wearing something that reminded them of something else, and it inspired them to do whatever they need to do for their role in the universe. So it's like, maybe I wasn't drawn to that cafe for any reason except for, and then the timing for going there was for somebody else to have received whatever their message was. Like, I was a messenger for that person. You know, it's just, and it was in my best interest because then I ended up at a lovely lunch with lovely people. So it's just, as to simplify it, right? Because if we break it, like, there's so much more to story. Everything is a part of a giant universal orchestra story. Orchestra story. That's so funny. So point is, we don't know. The universe never says why. And our interpretation for why is almost always incorrect. And it's also information for us to piece together the bigger picture of our own life while understanding it's not about us. That's why being intu-centric is prioritizing self-control and self-expression while holding space to connect with others. Because it's the prioritization of self as a means, really, for connecting with others in a positively influential way. If it's in the best interest for ourselves, then it's in the best interest for everybody. That's what leading with our intuition is. That's what being intu-centric is. And that's why I'm here to share it. So that brings us to our intuition is without reason and relentlessly first. And if there is reason, we just don't know it because we don't know why. So to compartmentalize it, we say that's without reason and first. It's just aligned. And it's, as I said, intuition is connecting the body to the universe. And again, which is why we created the Planet Butter Jet Ring of Consciousness, because as our cycle for decision making, it helps us refine our understanding of what our unique intuition actually is. It reveals to us how to listen to it and when, which is always, but how and when it's speaking, right? Again, which is always. However, the practice of identifying whether it's that relentlessly first voice or your relentlessly second voice, intuition or societal voice. Because the societal voice is quick to be like, no, wait, don't do that, or judge that, or it's either resistant, or it's judgmental, or it's assuming, or it's justifying. And these aren't negative things, guys, okay? Like the societal voice it's not negative, it's just unknowingly anti-intuition because the intuition doesn't precisely make sense. It's not logical, it's not rational. Societal voice attempts to rationalize that. So that's what those other, whatever I just listed, those things are really just an attempt at rationalization of what is seemingly irrational based on societal histories and development. And this is a tricky one. When our intuition pops in with something and that something is internalized by us and we predict a reasoning for that intuitive note, we'll say, and we choose to repeat this prediction about the reasoning, then that prediction of ours from our initial intuition becomes a belief. That belief is really just the repeated thought, right? Beliefs are just repeated thoughts. So if a belief is just a repeated thought and it's stemming from something that was originally an intuitive pop in, that is our more societally conditioned mind, if you will, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy surrounding our intuition, which becomes inevitably part of our evolvement and process because it's what happened, which means it was meant to be. That's probably really hard to understand. But basically, it's like something can be aligned with our intuition, meaning if it's our, gosh, this is hard to explain. I'm doing great. The book is where it's at, guys. But this is for open dialogue. I want you guys to email me, myplanettoyours@gmail.com. That's what I'm really doing here. I'm purposely confusing you guys to get you to talk to me. So far, it's working a little bit. I've got some good people on the band rocket. I think we need to cap it. I wanted to do a little boogie with intuition. We did it. Oh, wait. This part is very good. Okay. Our intuition will always be in our best interest and will put us in a position to take responsibility, which I define as doing more, doing less, and pivoting what's within our control. Hello, little ant. Please go there. Starting with self-reflection and self-connection, which, as you guys know, is what are my boundaries? Does the situation cross my boundaries? Yes or no? Respect your boundaries and then embody confidence because you've respected your boundaries, and then you will sustain or reconnect with your alignment. And that, again, integrated with embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves, our self-friendship practice, and making decisions with the planet butter jet ring of consciousness. So intuition is in our best interest when we choose to act in accordance with it, meaning show up for it, and then act in a way that demonstrates to ourselves and to the universe our self-friendship. That's when we begin to transcend who we've been to who we want to be, which inherently entails oscillation, which is wavering between who we've been and who we want to be. That's the growth. That's the development of the healthy ego. The expression is embodying the new way of being in new phases of life. The development of the healthy ego is that wavering. It's the practicing of showing up, going forward, falling backward, going forward, falling backward. And the backward is really just shedding old versions of yourself. The forward is embodying new versions of yourself. So it's a development, it's a practice. And then the expression is when you're embodying it. So see how it's all layered? It is complicated. But that's why we choose to make it fun, especially in the chapter. Yeah. It starts and ends and evolves with intuition, leading with our intuition. And then everything else, layer, 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 layer. All right, we're going to put a peanut in it. Like put a pin in it, put a peanut. Hope you guys had fun being confused with me. I'm not confused. I'm just having fun. Rah. Yeah. Okay. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Thanks for visiting Planet Butter, my world made of sparkly peanut butter, where I hopefully inspire you to critically think, creatively think, and optimistically approach life, believing in the magic, developing and expressing our healthy ego through the practice of self-friendship, which is the commitment to embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves. Integrate it with the Planet Butter Jet ring of consciousness, our cycle for decision making, and the thing that helps us refine our understanding of what is and is not, our intuition. Intuition, sensations, action, sensations again. Keep listening. We'll get there together. I don't know where, but we'll get there. It's not easy, but we can choose to make it fun. From my planet to yours, Blizzard. See you next Thursday.